Love giving back.
Thank you so much for doing my job for me. That was perfect. I should have just let you go.
So it's always great to hear different perspectives.
Well, I just love all the support here at NABOR. Hello and welcome to another episode of NABOR Talks, your NABOR podcast. I am your host, Shannon Livingston, and today we are going to be talking about AI. I have a very special guest. He is a member of our digital content committee, AI whisperer, all things digital, and you actually do a little, lending in your spare time?
Yeah, in my spare time, right? Yeah, I'm a mortgage lender here.
Okay, great. So, Edgardo, I want to have full disclosure with our listeners that this whole show is AI powered, that we have outlines made by AI. We are going to be asking questions and answering them with AI. So really, you and I are just here for the eye candy, which is a shame for people that don't see the video, right? And they're only listening, right? That's our only value. So I'm so sorry for people that are just listening. But AI is really going to carry the show today.
Yeah, and AI is not there yet, right? At one point, we're going to have AI here, and they're going to be the eye candy. So
I know.
Take it while we can.
But, for now, they have 6 fingers. So we're still ahead of the game, right?
Yeah.
The 5-fingered people, we have all the power.
That's right.
Well, hopefully 10 total. You know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah. So let's jump right into it. What is AI?
Well, look, one thing that I think it's worth mentioning here is that we have the utmost expert of AI, which is AI itself. So the only thing we've done so far to prompt her is that when we ask her to respond, she'll respond. So look, what I think AI is a great tool to discover or to be able to talk to the internet in a more natural form. But before the interview, we're talking about this. I'm very curious to see how ChatGPT or Gronk, which is what we're using, describes itself. So let's ask it.
All right.
So how would you describe yourself as AI? Please answer this.
As an AI, I see myself as a tool designed to help answer questions, offer guidance, and provide information in a conversational way. My goal is to be helpful and supportive, adapting to your needs as best as I can.
And now, how would you describe yourself to a 15-year-old or a 13-year-old?
To a teenager, I might say I'm like a super smart computer friend who's always here to help answer questions, give advice, or just chat about anything they're curious about. I'm here to make things easier and more fun to learn.
And what about if somebody that was a realtor was to ask you this question? What's your purpose if somebody that's a realtor wants to use you?
For a realtor, I can be a helpful resource to answer questions, provide market insights, and offer tips on home buying or selling. I can help with research, draft emails, and even provide ideas for client interactions.
There you have it.
Client interactions. That means taking the emotion out of your email before you send it, right? Throw it through ChatGPT or another platform so that they can make you sound more like a professional.
I actually like that because I use ChatGPT almost for all my interactions, all my written interactions. And, I think that's a big misconception, right? Like a lot of people think like, okay, this is only going to make me sound professional or a little bit more robotic or whatever. But it's all about the prompt. And that's the class that we have on ChatGPT that we teach here at NABOR is largely, we spend a lot of time on the prompt because you can make ChatGPT sound, funnier, or you can make ChatGPT sound more like you. You can make ChatGPT sound firmer. If you're in a negotiating position, you can make ChatGPT negotiate and use some of the principles from any negotiating book that you've read. So it's very interesting.
And you can also set up different personas. So for people like me that do multiple things, I do real estate, I do staging, and I do benefit auctions.
Right.
So I can set up a different persona for each one of those and tell them what my personality, my experience, all of that is. And then it will give me responses in that persona. And then the more I use those, the more I talk to it, the more that develops, which is just amazing. A little scary, but just amazing, right?
Yeah, and fundamentally, even as a realtor, I mean, realtors wear a lot of hats, right? Like a realtor needs to be a good marketer, needs to be a good copywriter, sometimes needs to be a good therapist, sometimes needs to
Great
be
points,
a
yeah.
good negotiator,
Yeah.
inspector, lawyer, mortgage lender.
Not a lawyer.
Not a lawyer, but
NABOR
all
won't
of these
approve this
things-
show if we
Oh,
say
no.
that.
But you know what I mean. They need to have knowledge on all of these things.
Yeah.
And to create a persona, to really take your time and behind the scenes, before you start interacting with ChatGPT and creating the persona that you want it to be for all of those different things, then you can have a conversation with like the best, AI bot that's an expert on staging or on marketing for that particular house.
Right.
It's very interesting.
And for that particular customer, because just like you said, how would you describe it to a teenager? Sometimes we have clients that maybe are from a different culture or a different age bracket or whatever. So really running it through and seeing, how would you best express this idea to this person is super valuable. But AI is already in real estate in ways that maybe people don't recognize. And so, it's behind Zillow and all these different platforms. But again, I'd like to go back to our AI friend and ask her how she is involved in real estate, or however you think the smartest way to phrase that is.
No, let's ask. Hey, what are the top use cases for AI in real estate at this time? What's your response?
AI is commonly used in real estate for tasks like property valuation, personalized marketing, predictive analytics, and customer service chatbots. It helps streamline processes, enhance lead generation, and improve customer interactions, making the buying and selling process more efficient.
Do you have any specific use cases from maybe some of the most popular companies out there?
Sure. Companies like Zillow and Redfin use AI for property value estimates and personalized home recommendations. Compass leverages AI for predictive analytics to identify potential buyers and sellers. These tools help streamline processes and provide more accurate, efficient services.
All right.
So the big question, is AI going to replace the human realtor? This has been since we had automation of certain tasks, right? Oh no, there goes the human worker. Like nobody will ever assemble a vehicle again because they have these machines. And, computers came along and people said, oh, that won't last. And then social media came and they said, well, that's not going to last. That's not important. I don't need to learn that. And now here we are with artificial intelligence. And I feel like it's just the same thing. It's already happening. You just need to lean into it and know how it can be good for you because it's happening to you, for you, whatever, whether you like it or not. Right. So I see AI as really helping me do a better job, not as competition, but my ego is probably healthier than most people. So what do you think?
Look, I think fundamentally AI is going to replace a lot of the tasks, and just like every technology replaces a lot of the tasks. If you think about one particular, let's say real estate, right? Since we're all, talking about real estate here, the tasks that a realtor needs to do today are not the same tasks that they used to do 20 years ago. Right? Like
when they had like the book with the photos and you had to flip through it and know everything on your block.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like now clients can look for a house, and now clients can do a lot more of that research than maybe they couldn't do before because the realtors were the gatekeepers to all those things. So there is fundamentally a lot of things that are going to be replaced, but rather than thinking about, okay, is AI going to replace me or is AI going to replace a realtor? We need to look at just all the tasks and the value that a realtor brings to the table and what can be replaced or enhanced by AI, and what are all the other tasks that are just as valuable, if not more valuable, that I can focus on so that AI takes care of all these menial tasks and I can just focus on this other task that AI may help me enhance what I'm doing for the client, but not necessarily replace me. So, for example, when it comes to lending, for me, AI or technology, you can look at rates, you can look at programs, you can look at guidelines, you can look at all these different things. And it is true that we look at that and we go, okay, maybe structuring a loan per se, it's not going to be that big of a deal in the future because AI might be able to do all of that. But okay, what happens after the transaction, and how can I be valuable, and how can I point you to the right direction? Because what this has done, just like the internet, is, you know, it democratizes information out there, and the access to information is super easy because now you can just talk to information. But we still need to be the guides behind, okay, what information is good, what information is bad, why should we focus on this, why should we not focus on this?
We need to know our clients and customers, right? We need to know their goals, their fear points, their, you know, how they like to communicate, how they talk to people, how they want to be talked to, all of these things. I think that is our big value. You know, they always say your network is your net worth,
right?
Or vice versa, means the same thing. Yeah. And I, you know, totally feel that, especially in the town of Naples. We all seem to know each other.
Right.
And I was saying to you earlier, I do get my business from word of mouth referral. And so I am a little lazy with my marketing. And I use AI for the task that you were talking about. Helps me immensely so that I can use my highest and best skill, which is dealing with people, right? Listening to what their goals are, listening to their fears and their vision, and really trying to match them with the services that they need, because it's an emotional thing when people are buying or selling their property.
Absolutely.
That's their home.
Absolutely. So, and it's an emotional thing every time you do it, even if somebody has done it 20 times. I mean, I've bought and sold a bunch of houses in my life, and every time I do it, I go like, oh, I get why my clients are so stressed. And I know the transaction better than most.
Right.
So to me, it's just a matter of, okay, thinking super long term, what are the tasks that this can at some point achieve, right? And then get good at the task that maybe it's not going to achieve in the next 20 years or 5 years or whatever, but that can enhance. And then today, being aware of all the tasks that it can do for you and which tasks it can help you enhance. So that's, I like to not think of it as it will replace me, the persona, but more what tasks, like super task oriented. And the other thing that I think it's super important to think about this is AI, in my experience, has made me a much better communicator. It has made me a better communicator and a better manager because garbage in, garbage out with these things, right? Like a lot of times we talk about traits that we want, and we talk about, oh, you know, this person is funny, or this person is confident, or this person is this, but we don't think about if we were to make it a system and we were to look at, okay, what are the behaviors? What's the list of things that this person does that makes me feel comfortable with her or him, or that makes me laugh or makes me think that they're funny? You can feed all of that to AI and they will follow that rule no matter what. Right. I'll give an example. I have somebody in my team that she is, you know, if you follow this profile, she's a high S, a high C. I am a high D, a high I. I'm very direct and to the point, and especially when it comes to my business. I don't, you know, I'm not the guy that goes to the office and go, oh my God, how are you? And how was your weekend? And blah, blah, blah. I go like, okay, these are the 4 things that we need to do. Last week we messed up on these 2 things. This was your fault. This was my fault. Let's make sure that this doesn't happen again, and let's move on in life. That doesn't necessarily work for everybody.
People don't like that. You know that, right? Because I'm the same.
Not everybody.
I love it. Just tell me what the issue is. Don't waste my time. Exactly. Let's keep moving, right?
So especially with the written word, it's super hard.
Yes.
If I send her an email like that, she takes it like I'm being offensive when I don't think I am. So I have one prompt, one conversation with AI, which is literally how to talk to her. So I go in and I can be super efficient because I can get straight to my point and write what I want to say. And this thing translates it because I explain, like, look, we need to do things like talk about the good things first, ask about her day first, and all these little things. And it translates this email into this beautiful email. And the other day she was telling one of my colleagues, oh my God, Ed writes the best emails. It's so nice the way he writes. And he was laughing to me and telling me,
because he knew.
She doesn't know that you haven't wrote an email in years.
But you're smart enough to write the email knowing how it's going to be received, right? And that empathy in business, that emotional IQ is, I think, especially in real estate, especially in high-end, high-value transactions. That's what sets us apart, is really thinking about, how is this being received? Is this valuable? Is this what the person needs? Because it's not all about us.
Right. And I think that's the point, right? Like the golden rule, if with $3 the way you want to be treated, but the platinum rule is $3 the way they want to be treated.
Right.
And like you say, going through the process with an investor, with an institutional investor, with a first-time home buyer, with somebody that wants to buy a vacation home here and eventually retire, or with somebody that just wants to retire here, you can talk about the same process. It's 10 different conversations because their pain points are different, their focus points are different, their questions are different. So this has made me a much better communicator. It's made me a much better person to interact online and to interact when I send emails and things like that. And it made me a better manager because now I don't think of just be nice, and you know what I mean by being nice, or just, make sure that you present yourself confident. No, I have to think through what's the checklist that makes this persona a persona, and then feed it to that. And once you figure that out, this game is easy because it's just a matter of creating the 100 personas that you need in your business. And then you have a team of incredible experts just helping you.
Right. It's like a split personality, but in your favor.
There you go.
Right. It like less crazy. So this is
that should be the title of the episode. Like a split personality, but less crazy. I love it.
So this is a great segue into, we've talked about how we use it and we keep saying all the things that it can do, but what specifically can AI do to help someone in real estate, not just manage their business, but grow their business? I think that's a great AI question.
Yeah, I love it. Let's ask it. Hey, what is a list of 20 to 30 bullet points that a realtor could use to grow their business or to manage their business using AI in general and different AI tools? Please be as specific as possible.
Certainly. Here's a list of bullet points realtors can use to grow or manage their business with AI. Automate lead generation. Use AI tools to identify and capture potential clients based on online behavior and preferences. Personalized marketing. Tailor marketing messages using AI-driven insights into client interests. Chatbots for instant communication. Implement AI chatbots on your website and social media to answer client inquiries 24/7. Virtual property tours. Use AI-powered virtual tours to give clients an immersive experience of properties from anywhere. Predictive analytics for pricing. Utilize AI to analyze market trends and set competitive pricing for listings. Smart CRM systems. Integrate AI into your CRM to track client interactions and predict follow-up actions. Automated scheduling. Use AI tools for managing appointments and scheduling showings. Client retention. Leverage AI to analyze client feedback and improve service offerings. Social media management. Use AI for content creation and to schedule posts at optimal times. Image recognition. Use AI to analyze and tag property images, making them easily searchable. Smart home integration. Highlight AI-powered smart home features and listings to attract tech-savvy buyers. Fraud detection. Employ AI to detect and prevent fraudulent activities and transactions. Voice assistants. Use AI-powered voice assistants for hands-free task management. Market analysis. AI tools can offer real-time market analysis to help you make informed decisions. Automated email campaigns. Use AI for personalized email campaigns to nurture leads. AI-powered property valuations. Use AI for accurate and fast property appraisals. Customer segmentation. Use AI to segment customers and tailor your services accordingly. Task automation. Streamline administrative tasks using AI. Client behavior prediction.
All right. Thank you.
So that's a lot.
Well, what's cool about that is now you can go, can you please expand on number 5 or number 2?
It's a lot to take in, but it's great.
Can you please expand on number 5 or number 2? And
Right.
we'll just expand on it. And, just you can create a new conversation just about that one.
Now, I know there is also a dark side to AI, right? That sometimes it can pull information that doesn't exist. It can give you statistics that maybe aren't real. So as we're talking about, valuation of properties or market stats or things like that, how do you make sure that, one, you are feeding in good prompts like website information or, other documents that it can use to analyze the information? And then how do you edit it? Once it comes out and you think this thing is so smart, this is great, you take it to a customer and you realize, oh, that statistic is not a real statistic.
Right.
It happens with AI still.
That's a great question. So the way to do it is by asking it to source it. So that was a bigger problem maybe a year ago or
so
6 months ago.
sourcing ourselves when we can, but also asking AI to reveal the source of the information.
Yes,
okay.
And it will give you the links of the articles. It will give you the research polls or whatever, wherever it is that it got the information. It will give you the links so you can actually go there and see. And then you can also teach it like, look, I don't want you to use this anymore, and it won't use that anymore. So that was a big problem. And look, I was talking to Wade before, and this technology is going up, and it's growing so fast that a lot of the issues that we had 6 months ago, honestly, 2 weeks ago, maybe are not issues anymore. So a lot of people started using ChatGPT. They got excited and they were like, wait a minute, this is only updated up to like 3 years ago, because that's how it was when it started. So when I asked like, what's the current rate? The rates were like 7%, and they're like, oh, it's 2%. It's a great time to buy. And I'm like, no, please don't write anything like that. But now it's not the case anymore. So now it can source, it can give you the sources that you can check, and then you can teach it. You can be like, look, what are the sources? Don't use this source. This is less, less respected of a source. Like, I want you to look at this website and do this. So you can just have a conversation. And the mind frame, if you will, or the framework of the conversation is just like who, what, where, and how. So you want to ask it like, who do you want it to answer? Like you want to answer like an accountant, or you want to answer like a marketing person? Two different answers.
Or a comedian.
Or Dr.
Seuss.
A funny comedian that likes to speak like Dr. Seuss. Like who?
Right.
Then what do you want it to do? Then how do you want it to do it? Meaning, I want you to do it in in 140 characters, or I want you to do it as a verse, or I want you to do it in Spanish, in Latin Spanish. I want you to do it with all of this, and where, if there's something specific that you want it to be pointed out, like, where, meaning what sources or what specific geographical area you're asking for. But if you go into ChatGPT with that framework, you'll get excellent results.
So where do you think is the best place for somebody to start? How did they even get comfortable, sitting in front of their computer and beginning? I think it's so overwhelming for people that are new to it. So what platform, what tool would you suggest they start with?
I think you go to OpenAI and you create a free account and you start with things that are maybe not as useful, honestly. Something stupid. Just ask it questions.
Well, you know what I love too is I'll say, these are the 20 things that are in my refrigerator. Give me, 20 recipes that I could make with this, or, things like that, where I'm tired and I know I could do it on my own, but it's more fun to do it like that. Or sometimes I need a little pep talk. And so I'll say, make up a nice song or poem about a queen named Shannon Livingston.
Or the 20 things I have in my refrigerator.
And the 20 things I have in my refrigerator. No, but it could do all sorts of things for you. So that is where you would start?
I would just start with OpenAI and just talk to it about whatever is in your mind. Even if what's in your mind is, hey, my name is Ed. I'm a loan officer. I'm also a dad. I'm also from Colombia. I'm also, married. And this is the first time I'm using AI and I have no idea what to do. What would you suggest? And just see.
Great advice.
The first thing is like, look at the power of what it can do.
Yes.
And then start thinking about the possibilities in communication, in your business, in your personal life, in, what it can automate. And the limitations are just ourselves. Like, the one thing that this has done is it has leveled the ground on people that you don't need to be an engineer. You don't need to be a copywriter. You don't need to be spell it perfectly to be able to come up with a good blog, as long as you have the ideas and you have the imagination to come up with those things. So that's why I think it's super powerful, and I love it. So just talk to it. As weird as it sounds, just take your computer and talk to it. It's
so conversational that it really does take the mystery out of it and the intimidation out of it right off the bat. As soon as you realize that the more I talk to this like a friend, and you can give it feedback, right? I didn't like that response. That doesn't sound sound like me, or make it more professional, or, whatever. You give it feedback of what it likes. And then now it will also give you 2 responses, and you get to choose so that it will continue to learn. I love all of that. So another way to learn is classes that we have here at NABOR. And you, thank goodness, not me. I don't teach that class. That would be a short class. But you teach that class. And so how many times a year do we have that? Should we have it more?
I mean, I think we should have it more. Honestly, every time that I teach the class, I normally teach it twice a year. NABOR, we teach it once. But every time that I teach that class, I need to rewrite the whole class because there's something cool and new that's happened. And my wife is always like, because I always write them at night. And then as I'm writing it, I discover new things. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. I haven't used this or blah, blah, blah. And my wife is like, what are you doing up at night and talking to ChatGPT? That's so weird. And I'm like,
is that her biggest competition? Like, does she feel like ChatGPT is your girlfriend?
Well, ChatGPT is a lot nicer to me than my wife.
Well, ChatGPT isn't doing your laundry.
Yeah, I'm trying to give her the prompts and it doesn't work the same. But no, and look, I highly recommend going to the class, if anything, because once we're done with the class, typically it's recorded. We send the recording, and I also send all the slides of the class. And in those slides, there's prompts, and then there's also what I think has been the biggest unblock for me when it comes to ChatGPT is I created a ChatGPT that creates prompts, acts as a prompt engineer. So now I have this conversation that's a prompt engineer that specializes in creating prompts from ChatGPT and asks me questions until the prompt is perfect. So anything that I want to have ChatGPT do for me or my team, I go to the prompt engineer first and I tell it, hey, this is what I'm thinking of doing. This is what I want the team to do. Please create a prompt perfectly for this. And then he asks me all the questions that I don't think to ask. And then it creates the perfect prompt. And now I have that perfect prompt to work on everything. And that, if anything, come to the class, listen to me for an hour, just talk and talk and talk, but you'll get that prompt. And that's a life changer for me.
Yeah, it is. It is such valuable information. And I am so grateful that you share your time and your talent with us. And give me a little bit of time to practice what we've talked about. And then I would love for you to come back and answer my next round of questions.
Perfect. I would love to come back and hear, after you try this out, what are like your top use cases and your top conversations?
Well, some of the conversations.
Shannon and see what personas you have.
Yeah, all of my personalities. I mean, really, AI is perfect for me, right? With all of my quirks. No, but I really am very grateful to you. It is such just a service to the members so that we can be organized, do the best job that we can for our customers and our clients, and just try to get through what is a cyclical business. That's the most positive way that I can put it right now. So we're doing all we can for our clients and our customers, and we should do that for ourselves too. And I think AI is a great way to do that.
Yeah. One thing I would like to say is speaking of the cyclicality of this business, we were extremely busy for a long, long time where we couldn't, I think everybody was like just working 100 hours a week and, not sleeping and all that, which is, great because a lot of money was made. But now we're in a place where maybe we're not as busy as we were 2-3 years ago.
Time to invest in those skills.
Now is the time to pick up those skills and to be prepared, because once we're super busy again, once the market is a lot easier again, which will happen, having those skills is going to help us maximize whatever it is that we want to maximize. We want to maximize the amount of transactions we're doing. Great. We want to maximize the amount of time we're spending with our family while we're still giving, an excellent service to our clients. Great. But we can maximize whatever we want to do because now we have, the utmost experts on the phone that we didn't have before.
Right. And for free. We don't have to feed them or pay them or listen to their complaints or anything.
Exactly.
It's wonderful.
See, comments like that is why people get scared about AI.
Well, don't complain. You can keep your job. I'm from the Midwest. I think we're taught from birth. You're not allowed to complain about anything ever.
Right.
Ever. So we have really talked a lot about a lot of different things, and our AI realtor friend has been listening the whole time. So you and I have talked about what we think the nuggets are from this conversation, but what does AI think has come out of this episode?
Hey, so we've been talking about what are the best ways that ChatGPT and AI in general can help a real estate agent, whether it's a real estate that's managing all our realtors, whether it's communicating, whether it's marketing, whether it's just using technology to maximize their sales. And we are about an hour into a podcast, and we want to hear kind of like your closing remarks on what your thoughts are on this, how you think a realtor should be able to use it, where the realtor should start if they want to start their journey into AI, and the importance of having a great prompt in order to get what they want.
From our conversation, it sounds like AI can be a powerful tool for real estate agents. It can really help with managing other realtors, streamlining communications, enhancing marketing strategies, and maximizing sales through technology. If a realtor is starting their journey into AI, they should begin by exploring tools that align with their specific needs. And having a well-crafted prompt is crucial to get the best results. What do you think?
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
That's great to hear. If you need any more insights or help along the way, just let me know.
What would be your closing remark or your advice to realtors that are listening to a podcast on how to use AI?
For realtors looking to harness AI, start small and focus on areas where it can make an immediate impact, like automating routine tasks or enhancing customer interactions. Stay curious and keep experimenting to find what works best for you. Remember, having clear goals and asking the right questions are key to leveraging AI effectively.
But really, thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to have you back. And I hope everybody goes and learns a new AI skill. Invest in yourself.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. We'd love to be back.
All right. Thank you for listening, everyone.